straw man. And it's not only devoted towards what you might describe as the more aggressive ends of masculine behavior.
Hello and welcome to another episode where we expose the worst intellects in the world. In today's video, we'll see feminists fighting battles they will never win, and at the same time, being totally clueless. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. These guys didn't know that there was an International Men's Day.
Talk about International Men's Day and don't talk about Ed Sheeran.
Here's the thing. There is an International Men's Day. There's probably less reason to celebrate International Men's Day, but there are just so many idiots who go online and write, oh, well, what about International Men's Day? There is an International Men's Day. Google it. It's in November. I'm sure you can celebrate.
Oh God, he absolutely destroyed her.
Australia, and I can't wait to explore the country because Australia's, I think, my number 3 place for fans. Millions of Australians watch my stuff. They come to read my columns and watch my videos. I think Australia needs saving from their own media.
All right. Well, Penthouse Australia is bringing Milo Yiannopoulos on his Troll Academy tour.
She had no facts at all.
Here is to hit the reset button on equal pay. Women have been doing so well, and the stats prove it when you actually break down the data like for like, that the victimhood groups need to hit the reset button in order to keep their membership going. It works in elections, it works for things like the Equal Pay Day campaign, but women out there need to know just how misleading this data is, and I don't think your hashtag or your attempt to make companies report these misleading figures is helping them.
Okay, I'm dealing in...
There, she said it herself. She has no idea.
Hello. You may have wondered what warranted me to be standing on the stage today. Or you may have wondered how good of a feminist I am that I deserve to be speaking about such a commonly spoken about topic. The simple answer to both of these questions is, I have no idea. Wait, let me rephrase. Hi.
She had no idea what she's saying.
Because I've noticed over the last few years, we seem to be losing the word woman. So we might be called cervix havers or menstruators. Well, in cervical cancer campaign material, the word woman doesn't appear. Menstruators, chest feeders, pregnant people. And I just thought the essence of this debate and what we're losing is literally the word woman to mean adult human female.
But people seem to be embracing the word woman as well. You're saying that it's disappearing. I think that that's not entirely the case. I mean, I think women are being very much embraced at the moment as well. We're very much in the news. Women are taking over very high positions.
Yep, she doesn't consider herself one. They were all wrong.
Said, and I agree with you, one of the reasons your show is so successful is people love seeing a woman in control. And boy, is that a timely sentiment now. And yet you said you never considered yourself a feminist. Why is that? And do you get the same kind of pushback in saying that I do? Because I've said the same.
I get pushback. You have to listen to it. You're younger. I don't listen to it because I'm older. Because when I was growing up and going to school and being a lawyer and trying to become a judge and becoming a judge and then becoming a supervising judge, I didn't do it through any organization. And I think it...
What just happened?
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that?
Looks like someone did his homework.
I think the difference between Jordan and me is that we look at evidence and we lean towards different theories. So Jordan's theory is very much evolutionary, you know, that there are inherent differences in men and women. Mine is very much more social role theory, if you like, and that men and women are taking on different roles due to the expectations that society puts on them. And it's interesting that Jordan frequently cites Scandinavian countries where they've made more, like there's nowhere in the world that women are equal, but Scandinavia has made the most progress towards shared parenting, etc. Yep. That said, it's not done yet. There's nowhere in the world where this is done yet.
But it's having the opposite effect that the gender equality types predicted. Opposite, not the same.
No,
and it isn't a theory, it's actually data driven by tens of thousands of surveys and the best scientific literature on the topic. It's not a theory, and I didn't come about it because of my political perspective. I looked at the data. What it showed was that as countries become more egalitarian, the differences between men and women grow.
Well, I can't say anything.
Surely now is a moment where there's a reckoning. Women are saying, we've had enough and we're not going to take it anymore. And what can possibly be wrong with that?
There hasn't been a reckoning. I mean, what there was the Golden Globes and a few $1 million worth of black tat. I mean, that was a highly theatrical gesture, but it actually didn't get anywhere. And it has a downside as well, which is presenting women as victims. And the interesting thing for me is you've
totally disagree. Women are fighting back. They're finding their voice, and men are losing their jobs.
Yes, but they're not. Hang on a sec. They're not the only people involved here. If you think about it, the case of Bruce Weber, the case of Mario Testino, and the case of what's his name, Spacey. I mean, all of these involve men, and big numbers of men, not just one or two. And those victims have been forgotten. Sexual abuse.
Not surprised that she was totally in the wrong here.
We'll all agree that motherhood starts way beyond the biological event. And anyone, including men, can mother and play the role of a mother.
Father.
Piers, would you...
Women, mother. That's because the titles are male and female titles.
Okay, with respect, would you look into the face of a man that has just lost his wife and is really struggling to play the role of the mother and the father and say that to him? So you're not a mother.
He's the father.
That child...
Well, you might be more sensitive in those circumstances.
You still call him a father.
He's playing the role of the mother because...
That was me, I'd be a father. I wouldn't suddenly morph into a mother.
Again, with respect, to mother and to father are not gender specific.
They are gender specific.
No, they're not.
Why are we pretending?
Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, then make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.